Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we will be ranking all of the spells in this game that do poison damage.
Every single one of them.
There are surprisingly few of these.
We're
There's
gonna be
only 11.
Yep, but that includes all the fun ones, right? That are every type.
Yeah, that's weird because there are quite a few of those. And I thought
More than
poison
half.
damage was a lot more common.
I also thought that, but poison's been done dirty. No one gives poison spells for some reason, and the ones that do exist, well, we'll talk about it. Should we dive in?
Poison spells and actual poisons, as we've discussed before.
Woefully underrepresented in this game.
Yes. All right, let's get on with it. All right, we're starting with our old friend Chaos Bolt once again.
And once again, as is always tradition, going right into D tier. Chromatic Orb, but worse, doesn't even do poison damage when you want it to, just randomly does it, and then a 1 in 8 times you get a little bit of an upgrade. Yeah, I don't like this thing at all.
Probably never casting this 8 times.
Yeah, I don't think so either. If you do end up casting this 8 times, have fun, and you got your 1 bounce. I'm really excited for you. Probably. Hopefully you got your 1 bounce. If you didn't get your 1 bounce, I'm really sorry. If you get more than 1 bounce, oh, look at you doing it. You're slightly getting a better deal out of what is close to a Chromatic Orb.
Actually, if you get your 1 bounce early on, then you might be worse off because then you're excited about it and thinking it's going to happen again, and it never will.
I mean, not never. That's not how statistics work, but yeah, it's not likely. It's not less likely to occur, but it's just, you're not likely to see it more than once in 8 attempts.
Yes.
It's a good way to think about it.
All right. Speaking of worse Chromatic Orb, there's Chromatic Orb.
That's C tier. It's the bread and butter 3d8 big damage spell. It's like kind of enough damage for a first level slot at a decent range. You get to pick a damage type, and you can pick poison. That makes it lit this list.
Moving on. Cloud Kill. Yeah, we've talked about these two. We've done these lists so many times. Chaos Bolt, Chromatic Orb, and other ones that we'll be covering make regular appearances.
Correct. Cloud Kill's not one such spell, though. So this thing is concentration 10 minutes. It's a 5th level spell. You make a 20-foot radius sphere of fart juice, and creatures that start their turn in it take a con save or 5d8 damage on a failed or happens with success. It moves 10 feet away from you to start each of your turns.
It's weird.
And spells area for the first time on turn or starts its turn there. So those are the right words.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much do we value 5d8 in this area for this spell slot cost?
What level is this?
5th.
How's that compare to fireball damage?
If you get 2 rounds out of this, it's out damaging fireball.
Yeah, it is over time. That's is it dispersible by slight wind?
The fog spreads around the corner of the last federation or until a strong wind disperses the fog.
Strong wind. All right.
Also, the area is heavily obscured. That's not nothing text.
No.
Despite having played this game forever, I've never once seen the spell cast, I don't think, as either a DM side or player size. So my hunch is that it isn't great. I think it's probably still pretty fine, though. Like, if you're doing the push-pull thing like you love to do, this should be one of the first spells you can kind of reach towards, even out of the player's handbook, to make that all happen. It has the right text, like you push something into it, and then it starts its turn into it, and then it's like 10d8 damage right like that.
It takes a lot of effort to disperse. It's not something, that's going to be, unless your foes have, spells to counter this, then it'll hang around. I like that. What's the area again?
20-foot radius, so it's like fireball sized, and it slowly drifts away from you. That is actually, I think, a point in its not in its favor, is that it like slowly flows away from you.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, if you can go really fast, you can control what direction it moves, which is fun. By running around it.
How fast does it move?
10 feet per round.
Yeah, that's not too bad. But it does it does give the creatures that you cast it on an easier time getting out of it, which I don't like.
I still think this is probably a reasonable C. Like, it's area effect damage. You can make it work. It's a little bit expensive, but it is the right numbers, I think. And the heavy obscurity can be good, too. So if you're working with...
And damage over time is good if you can keep your enemies in it, which it's gonna take a little effort, but yeah, you're right. I do like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's frustrating because you can't like cast it on top of a spike growth or something that's not moving to hold them there, you know?
Unless you're really fast and can zip around that spike growth every round.
That's,
So it just
that's
ping
true.
pongs back and forth.
Yeah. Guess you can get on a phantom steed or something.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
actually is a real way to do it.
Yeah. All right. C is good. It's a little clunky to use, but pretty cool. All right. Dragon's Breath.
This is the repeatable burning hands that shows up on all these lists. I like this thing a lot. It's a second level spell is the right price for it, I think. And then I think the low tiers are whenever you're most stretched on resources, whenever you'd want something that helps you stretch out your resources. So I think like bonus action, you put it up and get a breath weapon, and then every round after that, if you get 2 more, you're really thrilled. I see that happening pretty often. And the floor is a second level burning hands. And that's fine. Second level slot for burning hands. So I think that's like an easy B tier. I think there are real characters out there that will have fine times in some encounters, especially in the low tiers, jamming with this thing.
The big one, Illusory Dragon.
Yeah, it's like Dragon's Breath, but 8th level instead, and does a bigger cone with bigger damage. Less a minute still. I like it a lot. I like it
This
so
is
much that I
coming
think I might
from
put
you.
You're right. It's coming from the Illusory Dragon, not coming from you. That is a big difference.
Yeah, because it can fly around.
It can, and it look like a friggin' dragon.
Yeah.
We typically put this in A or B tier, right? Typically A.
A or S, but split the difference, put an A.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
got a
this is an
feeling
S tier.
need some A's up here.
We're going to, yeah, because this one sure isn't gonna make it.
Next up, Infestation.
I like this spell. It's just
I
bad.
don't remember what it does.
You cause a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites to appear momentarily on a creature you can see. The target must succeed on a con save or takes a d6 poison damage and moves 5 feet in a random direction. If it can move at least 5 feet. And you roll a d4 for the direction. And then it also has this movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks for some unholy reason.
Any movement was to provoke an opportunity attack. This would.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly this person is distracted. He's covered in bugs. Like it should be the easiest guy in the world to hit.
And I think if this did provoke opportunity attacks, it would be a really cool ability for the low tiers, especially. This is a big co-op ability, right? You're the ranged druid or the sorcerer or warlock or wizard or whatever. Your fighter gets engaged. They hit something. You go, okay, on my turn, I'm going to give him infestation so you can get an opportunity attack on it. That looks like a really clean play pattern to me.
Yeah.
And it's not a guaranteed
No,
anyway.
yeah.
Like it might move within range still. It might not leave your threat area. Because the horizontals work in this game. Or diagonals, I'm sorry, not horizontals. D6 is just too low and the effect doesn't do anything otherwise, like 99% of the time. D, I don't think this is an F.
No, I mean, does something, but nothing reliable or amazingly effective.
I will
What
probably
level
put
is
that on more character sheets than I should. It's a
What
cantrip.
level is it? Cantrip. All right, that's not terrible. But it's yeah.
It's
I'm fine
D6
with D.
damage.
Yeah, D6 damage and a nothing effect.
Yeah.
Poison spray.
I'm a poison spray apologist. It is range 10 feet, D12 poison damage cantrip. I want to put this on so many character sheets, and then I do, and it's bad. It's
10 feet is barely a ranged attack.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a D12 weapon is how I conceptualize it. And when you get a level 5, it does 2d12 damage, so it scales the best. It's probably a D, though. This thing is not good. Range 5 feet cantrip with this low damage floor is a really big problem.
5 feet or 10 feet?
It's 10 feet.
Okay.
But like if it's functionally melee range, and you have to be so close to this to do anything. The tier you want in the lowest tier is the one where you're most fragile and don't want to be within 10 feet of people. It's really hard to make this thing do much.
No arguments here.
I love D12s though.
Yeah.
D12s make me so
you
happy.
don't get a lot of opportunities to use them.
No.
All right.
Is that one of the 4 unique poison damage spells that exist? That's insane. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Where we are? Yeah. Wow. Because here's another one that's been showing up a lot. Prismatic spray.
Yeah, so this is 10d6 damage for a 7th level slot, and you have a very rare chance of either getting a effectively restrain or blind or rolling twice and taking both.
So
So
disappointing.
it's so disappointing. You have a 1 in 8 chance of doing poison damage with the thing. Most of the time, it's just a worse version of Fireball. A worse version of Conical is a better way to conceptualize it. I think this is a comfy D. Most of the time, it's just damage. Sometimes you need it to be damage, it won't do damage. Sometimes you don't need it to do damage, it'll only do damage. Like, there's... The
Wait,
unpredictability here isn't fun unpredictability. It's bad
oh,
unpredictability.
slow down, slow down. The effects with conditions don't do damage?
No.
Yeah, all right, D it is. Oh, that's
Yep.
all right. Prismatic Wall.
This might be the most offended spell we talk about on these videos.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of comments on this.
People love Prismatic Wall. This thing is hot trash. It probably is an F tier. It probably does something.
I'll do
Maybe.
something.
The thing it does is make a wall. And that wall, you have to get things to move through to do the damage. And that's a lot of hoops for my 9th level spells. I don't like jumping through hoops for my 9th level spells, Bob.
I mean, that's what it is. It can be a barrier that you know people have to make a choice. Am I going to go through this, or the hoops that I don't like are the ones that you have to go through to bring it down.
That never,
That,
ever, 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 ever have happened.
no, it's like that
Not a
is
single time.
how many trees have died so that that could be printed in all these books and unusable text.
Like, what annoys me is that the damage effects the players experience against enemies are entirely boring. There's just 10d6 fire damage, 10d6 acid damage, 10d6 lightning damage, 10d6 poison damage, 10d6 cold damage. The interesting stuff is you need to use force damage to break it. You need to have this layer be destroyed by, a large wind. You need 25 cold damage to break this layer. You need a pass wall spell to break this layer. All the cool text never matters, and all the boring text is all you care about.
I mean, it should be how much damage are we talking about total if you throw somebody through the wall?
Uh, it's base 1, 2, 3, 4, 56 damage plus Indigo Violet, which are effects. Blinding and restrains.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but I'm not giving it an F. It's a
D.
comfortable D.
Fine. Fine.
Yeah.
Commoners, you got me up to a D on this thing. It's still hot trash. But it's not actually uncastable. It's very, very, very bad, though. You have to work so hard for this to do 10d6 more damage than a Meteor Swarm. And Meteor Swarm just does 40d6 damage in better air. Oh. We are comparing it to the best damage spell of the game, so I guess that's kind of fair, actually, for it to be a D.
Yeah, this doesn't destroy the town around you either.
Yeah, that's an upside to me.
All right, Ray of Sickness.
This is a terrible spell. This is somehow worse than both Chaos Bolt and Chromatic Orb. So this is as first level Necromancy. You make a ranged spell attack. If you hit, you do 2d8 poison damage. Then it makes a con save, and it's poisoned for a turn if it fails it.
It's not great.
Like you have a chance to miss with this thing on cast. Then you have a
Yes.
chance for the save to get passed. And if either of those things happen, you feel like you're wasting a spell slot. You feel like I should have just cast a cantrip. That's never a place I can have my first level spells be. It's so bad. Now, does it do something technically? It technically does something. And there
Yes.
is if you ever get both modes, maybe it's better than Chromatic Orb in some instances. So that probably puts it in D tier, right?
Certainly no higher.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
this is like the reason I like spells like Vicious Mockery and what's the other comparable one?
Frostbite.
Frostbite. It's it's got a little rider. It doesn't last long, but it's a cantrip, so you can keep firing it again and again and again to get that effect. For a leveled spell, I need more than one round of an effect.
Or at least make the effect guaranteed, right? If I hit, let
Yeah.
me poison the thing.
Yeah.
I already have to have one thing go right for this to do anything. Needing a second thing to go right? Nope, I'm out.
Even if both go right, I'm not thrilled with the outcome.
Yeah, I'm still not impressed. It's like comparing it to Vicious Mockery is like, all right, you're getting what? What's the average bump? You're getting an average 7 extra damage for a first level spell slot. Is the adequate like effect that you kind of feel like you're getting?
Yeah.
Nope. No thanks.
All right, finally, we have Summon Draconic Spirit.
S tier. But we have to put an S tier because there needs to be an S tier.
Yeah.
It should for symmetry purposes. Even though it's worse than most of
Shocked
the
we
other
don't have
summon
an F.
effects. Yeah, I mean, somehow they all do something, even if the things they do aren't good. There's no like 8th level deal 2 poison damage and the thing is poisoned, which I'm glad there isn't, but also like that would be what I would want to go in F here. Anyway, Draconic Spirit's great. You summon poison dragons, they do poison things. The summon spells are always bonkers. You get a ton of extra attacks with them. They're sweet. You can ride around on this Draconic Spirit, which is kind of awesome. You can't ride around your illusionary dragon, but normally put it in A tier because there's better summon stuff. There isn't better summon stuff, so it gets to be an S tier today.
All right, well, that was a short one.
Shortest list I think we've ever done of this.
Yeah, and it's poison damage. That's crazy.
The total unique poison damage spells: Poison Spray, Infestation, Ray of Sickness, Cloud Kill. There are 4 unique poison damaging spells in this game, from what this says.
Well, I'm pretty confident with everything but the D's. Is there anything you want to put down to F?
If there would be one.
You personally, I know.
So if we're not putting Prismatic Wall down there, I mean, Infestation is neat.
I was thinking Infestation.
It does something unique, so I have a really hard time putting that in F tier, right?
Unique with the, like, flavorfully or?
And mechanically. It's a cantrip that gets something to move. I would put
not into a place that you necessarily want. I mean, like if they're standing, if they're standing on your table and you don't want them to be, then yeah, you can guarantee they'll fall off or something. But if you need them to go into your prismatic wall, this is no guarantee that's going to happen.
But it is
probably not going to happen.
It is a free way to make an attempt. In the Spike Growth, it gives you free guaranteed damage, right? That's something. That's not nothing. Yeah. It's not good, but it's not nothing.
Yeah.
I don't actually think any of those deserve F. I hate Chaos Bolt. I hate Prismatic Spray. I hate Prismatic Wall. I hate Ray of Sickness, but they all do something.
Yeah, if I was gonna put any in F, it would be Infestation. But yeah, according to our own standards, it's a D. But perhaps the commenters at home have different opinions.
Oh yeah, perhaps. I was about to say the exact same thing. Maybe you think Poison Spray should be an S tier. I sure do, but it's definitely not supposed to be an S tier. But I love that spell. You know, which of these 4 poison spells do you rate the highest out of the unique list? Is Cloud Kill actually a B? I could see Cloud Kill being a B.
I could see
somewhere around the mid tier.
All right, yeah. Let us know your opinions. Poison damage, hooray!
Woo!
That was our video. Thank you, Sam. Thank you everyone for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.